Hey YouTube, what's up? So today is day 5 of the 100 videos in 100 days challenge. And today I want to talk to you guys about the Air Force. So a lot of people question whether or not they should join or not join. I know I went through this when I was about 18 years old. Whenever I had quit college the first time, I talked to my parents about it, and I was actually going to join the Marines like my dad, but my mom was very much against that. And she was a lot happier when I said I was going to join the Air Force. So, not that recruiters are bad guys per se, but a lot of times they're like salesmen, right? So, if you go to a car lot and you talk to a car salesman, they're going to do their best to try and make everything sound as good as possible to sell you that car. It's kind of the same thing. I'm not going to say they're going to outright lie to you, but recruiters definitely make things sound as optimal as possible. When I was joining, I pretty much thought I was guaranteed to go overseas. I was going to have a great time. He's talking about how he was stationed in Germany and they're doing Oktoberfest because you could drink when you're 18 there. Not that I condone drinking at 18, but when you're 18 years old, it sounds really cool to go to another country and to have a good time and celebrate the culture. And little did I know that open mechanical or going open anything does not guarantee you the opportunity to go overseas. Nobody really explained any of these kind of things to me. So I was just kind of go through the basic processes and everything that I remember from joining the Air Force and kind of how the Air Force operated, and then you can decide whether or not it's something for you. I will say, I think for the general population, for most people, I do think that the military is a good thing. I think it's a good thing to join the Air Force. I think you can get a lot of good things out of your service. There's a lot of people that's not going to be good for. One thing that I didn't realize is your mental health has to be pretty strong. Something that I wasn't prepared for was when I went through basic training, it wasn't a big deal, but whenever I got stationed at my first base, it was in South Dakota. So I moved, I think it was like 1,200 miles away. I didn't know anybody. You're in a little dorm room, just like kind of like in college, how you have a small dorm room with a bed, and you share a bathroom with somebody else. And I didn't realize how hard that would be, being by myself, kind of isolated, not knowing anybody, not knowing what I'm doing, but one thing I will say is a lot of the guys you grow a strong bond with, a strong relationship with. They really build up a good brotherhood among other service members. You get really close to a lot of the guys you work with, or even guys that you work for, like staff sergeants. A lot of times can be looked up to as almost like a big brother figure. They really look out for you and try to help you and take care of you. So I will say the Air Force does have that going for them, at least where I was. But nobody really told me how difficult it'd be to be away from your family and you're pretty much not allowed to see them. Not necessarily, but, it's difficult to get leave, and then, you got to travel 1,200 miles and you're not making a bunch of money. So it's kind of difficult to go back and see your family. So I will say, if you're interested in joining the military, the Air Force in particular, definitely make sure that your mental health is in a good place, because that could make it so much worse, I feel like, for somebody who is depressed or somebody who's struggling with being alone or anxiety, those kind of things. It'd probably be a lot more difficult for you. Now, with all the serious kind of stuff out of the way, I would say overall my experience with the Air Force was great. I learned responsibility. I learned how to pay bills. I learned what happens when you spend all of your money. Luckily, in the Air Force, you always have food, you always have a bed, and, shelter, and, you always have transportation to work, whether it be they come pick you up or somebody can help you get there. You can kind of carpool. So there are those things. So I think that's really good for helping learn responsibility and how to spend money wisely. So that was one great thing I think the military taught me. Another thing I think it taught me was hard work. It's very important, I think, especially in today's society when a lot of people are kind of on the lazier side or don't want to do things that are hard. I think that's important for your character, and building your character is being able to do hard things even though you don't want to. So I will say that's another benefit that the military gave me. But I also don't want people to go in thinking that you could be an airman and buy a Hellcat and, travel all over the world and do all this crazy stuff, because a lot of times it's not exactly how it works out. Maybe for the lucky people. But I will say, if you are going to join the Air Force, make sure to research your jobs and the job codes so that you know exactly what you want to do, because that's really important. I was a B1 aircraft mechanic or crew chief, but I was specifically in a shop called AR. It's a lot of complicated stuff, but all you really need to know is I went in open mechanical. So pretty much they would put me in any mechanical job pretty much that there is, technically. But obviously, if there are 2 critically manned jobs, which just means that there's not a lot of people, they need more people to be like a B1 crew chief or a B2 crew chief or, whatever the critically manned jobs are, they're more than likely going to put the people that are open mechanical in those critically manned jobs. And the reason why they're critically manned most of the time is because they are not fun or good jobs. When I found out my job code, which was 2 Alpha 5 3 4 Echo, I found out that I only have 2 bases to choose from. I could go to South Dakota or Wichita Falls, Texas. And I don't know if anybody knows anything about Texas, but if you do know about Texas, Wichita Falls is like not a fun place to be. It's pretty boring. So I decided to venture out and go to South Dakota. And, it ended up being okay, but probably wouldn't have been my first choice. I was actually going to be a loadmaster, flying loadmaster. And if I would have waited 9 months for my job to come open, then I would have gone in as a flying loadmaster. So if you want to have those opportunities to travel and you want to make sure that you get a job that you love, I definitely recommend that. It may sound good when you're 18 years old and you want to leave your house and your hometown to just hop on an open mechanical or open general and just be gone in a month or 2. But I guarantee you will definitely say that the wait is worth it if you actually go for a job that you enjoy. So in conclusion, if you're going to join the military or the Air Force in general, I definitely recommend that you have good mental health, probably good physical health, and then patience. You definitely want to wait for the job that you want to be doing for the next 4 to 6 years. It doesn't feel very important in the moment, but when you're actually out there doing it every single day for 4 to 6 years, you definitely want to make sure that you enjoy what you're doing, because that's going to make you a lot happier. All right, so I think that's going to wrap up the 5th video and the 100 videos in 100 days challenge. Please like and subscribe, hit the notification bell so you know when my videos come out every single day. And if you have any more questions about the Air Force or my experience specifically, go ahead and leave it in the comments below for the algorithm, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.